My name is Christopher Franz. I'm the founder of Country Community Honor, an independent expenditure committee, completely unaffiliated and unconnected in every way. We want to see better people elected to Congress in 2026. So, again, see it all the time. Complain, complain, complain. Congress sucks. There's nothing we can do. Why can't they do their job? People complain that voting doesn't matter, but I guess let me just rant, about some of the reasons why I created Country Community Honor. So, this is from the Congressional Research Service. It's the Congressional Careers, Service, Tenure, and Patterns of a member service from 1789 to 2025. I love it. It has a lot of useful information, but Figure 1, average years of prior service in chambers for senators and representatives. For senators, on average, 11.2 years of service. And for the House, 8.6 years of service. So this is the average years of prior service that each member would have upon being sworn into Congress in January. We complain about how useless Congress is, but yet we keep re-electing the same people over and over again. And I've seen a lot of people complain that voting doesn't matter, that the elections are rigged. The reason these people are able to stay in office for decades on end, years on end, is because of the parties. And yes, the party systems do enable these candidates to stay in office for a very long time. They do have the money, they do have the power, they do have the influence, but a lot of Americans don't turn out to vote in general, and if we turned out to vote, maybe that would make a difference. So this is for primary elections in 2022. So this is the midterm elections. 2026 is going to be midterms elections. This is by statesunited.org. And this is all overall turnout in the primaries for voting eligible population for the 2022 election. This is the primaries. Highest turnout is what? 42%. Oh, and then look, the general election says it's 46%, but highest for the primaries is 42%. And then you go over here and you look at like Connecticut, 8% turnout in the primary election, but it says 49% turnout in the general election. So basically nobody turned out to vote in the primary elections. Okay, well, the primary elections are how we unseat the incumbents. So, here's an example right here. So this is Vern Buchanan from Florida's 13th District. He is filed to run for 2026. He does not, as you can see, have a Republican primary opponent currently. He won 2024 general election with 247,516 votes. But in the primary, he won with 38,789 votes. His primary opponent got 24,886 votes. Only 63,657 people turned out for the Republican primary elections. But yet, in the general, you got 247,516 people just to vote for him as the Republican candidate. 416,000 people turned out to vote total in the general election. If you include the Democrat primaries and the Republican primaries together, you don't even get 100,000. So not even 100,000 people turned out to vote in the primaries. And yet 400,000 people turned out to vote in the general. If you want to make a real difference, if you want to see a real change, you need to make sure you turn out in the primaries. Look at this. 35 to 55, 23 to 43, 33 to 53, 18 to 42, 18 to 60, 19 to 46, 27 to 60, 28 to 59, 16 to 44, 12 to 41. What is going on here? California's 28 to 43. People just don't turn out to vote. And then they're black-pilled and complain that voting doesn't make a difference. We can't get rid of these candidates. They're selected. Our elections are rigged. Yes, they are kind of rigged. I mean, just look how much money that the parties are willing to dump to elect their candidates. In 2024 alone, they dumped $10 billion, Republicans and Democrats combined, to try to get their candidates elected to Congress. In 2022, they dumped $9.5 billion. In 2020, they dumped $11 billion. 2018, they dumped $7.1 billion. Yeah, it's kind of rigged. They have the money, they have the connections, they have the influence. But if you turned out and voted for the candidates you wanted to see actually in office, they might actually stand a chance. Because again, only 17% of the people in New Mexico turn out for the primary elections. Are you really having the best choice? Like, are you getting the best candidate? What's going on? 15% Iowa, 13% Indiana, 17% Tennessee. Like, when nobody turns out to vote, then yeah, we're going to have the most trash candidates possible that continue to win. But if the American people actually decided to turn out and vote in 2026, there's a good chance we could unseat many of these people that have been in office for all of these years. Okay, I want to see this number. The percent of representatives defeated for re-election spike again in 2026. I want to see this huge, drastic upward spike from 3.9% of incumbents losing re-election to over 20% losing re-election. And it is possible. It really is. The American people just need to care enough to try. If we wanted to compete against the party establishment, the political machine, we could. Yes, they have billions of dollars at their disposal, but combined together, the American people have more money, more resource, more influence, and more connection than all of these parties, these congressional candidates, the political establishment combined. If just 10% of the people who voted in 2024 or 2020 turned out and said, I'm tired of both sides, I want to support something different, and decided to say, hey, I'm going to donate $25 to Country Community Honor, Country Community Honor could raise $4.5 billion in just 1 year. We could have $9 billion every 2 years for every congressional election cycle, every midterm election. We could put $9 billion behind candidates that are trying to run against the Democrats, against the Republicans, against the party establishment, against the very thing Washington warned us about. It is possible. Like I mentioned, we just need enough people to care enough to try. If you want to find out more, though, if you want to try to help, if you want to support us, you can visit our website at ourconstitutionalrepublic.com. You can go down to the bottom of nearly every webpage and donate. If you become a monthly donor, it would help very much. We are trying to compete against a multi-billion-dollar propaganda machine. You can find out more about what we're trying to do. You can go up at the top. I know my face is covering the top corner, but there's 2026 tab where it talks about the 2026 midterms. This link for seniors will take you to a list of all of these seniors who are currently in office, and many of them are filed to run for re-election. There is the Who's Running tab where you can click on any of these links and it'll take you to the Ballotpedia where it lists who's currently filed to run for 2026. I love this link right here. It'll take you to house.gov from the clerks, and it just terms of service for members of the House of Representatives in the 119th Congress. And as you can see, people like Harold Rogers, Christopher Smith, Steny Hoyer. They've been in office for 23 terms of service. 46 years. 46 years. These people have been in office. You want to help see them gone? Check out ourconstitutionalrepublic.com. But thank you so much for listening. If you like the video, like it, share it, subscribe if you can, tell your friends, tell your family. But thank you so much for listening, and have a great day.